Well, here we are, the final 5K challenge video. Now, over the last 2 months, Heather, Mark, and many of you guys have been training very hard in an attempt to better your 5K PBs. And today is the day. Okay then, so a quick recap on what this 5K challenge is all about. Mark and Heather decided that without there being any racing for the foreseeable future, they needed a target to get their teeth stuck into. So they opted on trying to better, or at least come close to, their existing 5K PBs. However, to make things a little bit more exciting with their training, they decided to follow polar opposite training methods. Heather decided to follow low intensity, high volume, whereas Mark went for high intensity, low volume. Now, personally speaking, I have really enjoyed following the guys' journey so far for this 5K challenge. And so much so that I've been inspired to give it a go myself. So not only will Mark and Heather be posting a 5K time today, I thought in the sense of team spirit, I'd get involved and give it a crack too. So let's get this show on the road.
Okay, this is it. The big moment. Well, not quite. Got a little drive actually first to get to the start point for my 5K, which probably confuses you given that I've got the canal path right here that I have been doing all of my sessions on. And don't get me wrong, it's been awesome. It's amazing. Perfectly flat terrain to run on my doorstep and get the sessions done super easily. But this is my issue, right? So my shoe, this is the kind of surface I'm running on the canal. Yeah, not much traction there, and that becomes even more noticeable as I start to run faster and run harder. Now, call me a diva, but I'm off to find a better surface. Well, it's like I'm in search of the perfect wave, but it's the perfect tarmac. And I do have the perfect bit in mind because this bit, well, it's just down the road from my own house, but it's on the doorstep of my parents. It's an old stomping ground for me. I used to do loads of sessions along this section of road. And actually, I've ended up in a bit of a Strava battle with Sam Pichter on this section of road, who is now a professional triathlete, obviously. We kind of compromised and settled for him having the course record one direction. I've got it the other way. Anyway, it's a great section of road, super fast, super flat, and because it's on the doorstep of my parents, my dad has kindly offered to cycle along with me, to pace me, and to film. How cool is that? Here's Mr. Thrillful. Say hi, Dad.
Hi. Hi.
Represent in GTN, and step aside, Dad, social distancing. Come on. And then here's the bike with GoPro mounted up. So yeah, we are ready to go.
3, 2, 1, go.
An incline. I thought it was flat. We're about a kilometre in. I started the first half K around 250 per kilometre, way too fast. Knocking down a bit, coming in just under 3 minutes. Just need to settle down, get this rhythm. Do feel good there. About halfway in, feeling good. I've been holding between 305 to 310 per kilometre. If I can keep this going, I'll be so happy. 1K to go. Smokes. Just go hang in there now.
Well, I am very grateful to Mark for doing such a brilliant job and running a faster time, because I have some bad news. I'm afraid I've decided not to run the 5K finale for a few reasons, and I've been debating it. I was supposed to do it this morning. It's been hanging over me because I do feel like I'm letting everyone down, and yeah, it's just disappointing because, you know, we followed this program and I wanted to prove that my program at least would make an improvement, and we can't measure that now. But 2 weeks ago on our last update, I told you guys obviously I was struggling with an injury. I still held hope at that stage that in 2 weeks I could maybe pick up something and retrieve a bit of fitness. But realistically, I've had 4 weeks of just going for the odd jog and doing no structured training, not following that program. And I have at last been able to see a physio today, ironically. I've got a very small micro tear in my calf, so it's probably been a good thing that I haven't pushed it. And I just realised that by going and running that 5k, I wasn't going to prove anything to myself and probably not to you guys either. So yeah, disappointed to say that my 5k challenge has ended on a bit of a downer, but great to see that Mark's done well for the team.
Right, watching those guys get it done over the last 8 weeks really has inspired me to give it a go. And although I'm in no shape to run fast, I've done no specific training, I just want to go out and have a bit of fun. Well, as fun as 5k hard can be, see what I can do and join in. So I suppose I better get going, and I guess this could be the start of my 8 weeks. 3, 2, 1. So guys, that brings to a close the 5k challenge. 8 weeks of hard work done and dusted. There are some mixed emotions here, but I guess that is real life, isn't it? So I guess first up, Mark, do you want to talk us through how your 5k went?
Really happy with my final time. I didn't get a PB, I'm very sad to say, but I think, in all honesty, I did go into this challenge kind of knowing that wasn't ever going to happen, but I was very motivated to get as close as I possibly could to it. And I've shaved off well over a minute from my starting time, that benchmark time, when me and Heather first set out 8 weeks ago. And yeah, posted a 5 minutes, that would be fast, 15:41. So yeah, I can't really argue with that. That's not bad going. So yeah, really happy.
Oh, I mean, I'm incredibly impressed with that. I think it's a fantastic time, so hopefully you're not feeling too sore after that effort. But on that note, I suppose, injuries aside, Heather, what were your feelings on how that high volume, low intensity program was starting to feel when you were getting into it in the first few weeks?
Well, I mean, I always knew it was going to take up a lot of time, and I think that was the hardest part, was the motivation to know that I had to set aside such like a large block at a time, and I really had to kind of plan my day around those. And so that took quite a lot of getting used to, and sort of working through and getting the right nutrition and trying to fit the runs into the week as well, because if I missed one day, then it would suddenly be a big build up, and I think fatigue did catch up as well, because especially to start with during lockdown, we were working even more intensely because everything took us a bit longer. So I think my biggest challenge was the time management and the actual just the tiredness that came with your body adapting to doing such an amount of running, like so many hours of running a week.
And on the other side of the coin, Mark, you didn't have a huge amount of time that you had to devote to it, but your sessions were really intense. So how did you find that program?
Yeah, I think that was quite a big surprise, actually. It started out and I thought, yeah, I've definitely picked the good option here. And I certainly did in terms of the hours, but as it went on, I was really tired. And actually, I have gone back through and had a look at some of the stress scores to the training sessions. And it's actually crazy how high those numbers are, day in, day out. And I can understand why I sort of had a bit of a blip a few weeks ago, where I really felt quite tired. So yeah, it's been great. It's kept me motivated, and I've been quite excited for each session because there's so much going on in each of them rather than just plodding along. But I'd be lying if I said I didn't fancy a bit of a break every so often.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, that is a really interesting take from that. And what do you think, Heather? Is that something that you might want to take away and change next time, or would you just quite happily carry on with the high volume?
No, definitely. I mean, I think it's always grass is greener, and I was looking at Mark's pro and going, oh, I'd love to do some fast running, and I think Mark was probably like, oh, I'd love to do some easier running, and that's what it's about, isn't it? I mean, that tells the story that, you know, the Perfect Run program is an amalgamation of both, and I think part of my getting injured actually came as a result of getting really tired and having poor running form, and doing no hard runs or no quality running, I think is actually quite dangerous, and I just sort of got into, you know, especially at that volume, and I just forgot about form. I was just trying to get the mileage done. So I'm looking forward to going back to finding the love for running, because I got really tired and then I got injured, so it all kind of just went down the pan, and I'm looking forward to being able to run pain-free and just go for a run and get that enjoyment back, and then actually maybe, you know, make myself a new target and maybe do something sort of off my own back. And
come on, it's been great. And actually, it's inspired Fraser to do his own 5K, which has been awesome. So we got the team back in. How was it for you, Fraser?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, obviously you guys are getting stuck into an actual program, but it just made me think, you know what, I wouldn't mind just giving it a go and seeing, well, reminding myself how hard 5K is. So yeah, it was really good. And, you know, I posted a time, I've got myself a marker in the sand, and I guess that means that I'm 8 weeks behind you guys, or certainly behind you, Mark, and why not keep it going a bit like you were thinking, just seeing if I can move forward and maybe follow a bit of a pick both of your brains and see what I can get from both plans, and see if I can actually structure a reasonable plan going forward. So who knows, watch this space.
Well, you've kind of learnt from our mistakes now, and you can take that forward, and you've got the perfect plan. But likewise, I'm very motivated. I think actually, given that I went from pretty much zero training to trying to do a 5K PB in 8 weeks, I'm very motivated. I'm going to keep going with my training and see where I can actually go with this. And I hope you guys out there who have got stuck into this training have thoroughly enjoyed it, and let us know in the comment section below how you get on with your 5K challenge and the time that you post. Hope you have enjoyed this challenge. If so, give it a like and make sure that you're subscribed to GTN.